Hi guys, Don, Paintball Innovations here. Hey, we're going to go through the installation procedure for the 50 caliber BBCS conversion kit on the Tippmann 98 Platinum series marker. That is the 3-piece body. The left side of the marker has 2 pieces. The right side of the marker is 1 solid piece. Just for a comparison, this is a Tippmann 98 custom with a solid 1-piece left side body. So we need to make sure when you're ordering that you order the correct kits so we can get you the correct power tube for your kit. The 98 Platinum uses a 1-piece power tube with a single hole in the bottom. The 2-piece body uses same 1-piece power tube, but it has a little nipple for the response and cyclone trigger, and 2 holes in the side as well for mounting the tube into the gun. The one that we are doing here today, however, is the 98 Platinum Series Tippmann 98. So with that, we'll go ahead and pull the marker apart. I've already loosened some of these screws. This marker was designed for ease of cleaning in the rental market. As you can see, these are pretty well used. So you take out the back. You don't need to remove the front portion yet. With the installation of the BBCS, however, we are going to remove that so that we can replace the ball latch. There's a trick to that. If guys know it, you can do it that way, but we recommend pulling the front of the marker apart for the installation, and that way at least you know everything up there is good and clean. So once that's loose, you want to, no, you don't, just pull the top half off. At that point, you've revealed the internals of the marker. You can take everything out, take the springs out so you don't have something go flying. I like to remove the rear bolt. And take the trigger, the safety, and the trigger spring out as well. Pick helps sometimes get in there and get things out of the way. The pins are usually affixed in the Platinum series. Some of the older guns or guns that have been seeing a lot of service, the pins will come out of. They do have a little knurl on the bottom that helps hold them in place. Now, to get the front bolt and power tube out of it, you do need to loosen it at the body with the flare nut. Back that off. Back it off all the way down. You can reach right in the front or grab hold of the linkage arm and pull that, and that'll pull the linkage arm, the power tube, and the front bolt assembly out of the marker. At that point, you have the gun apart, and you could, once you change the ball detent, start with reassembly. What we recommend installing the BBCS is the easiest way is to just simply take the two screws that are remaining out. Get those out. Lift that off. One of the nice things about the Platinum Series marker as well is that the front sight spring is affixed. You don't have to worry about the spring taking off on you. So we take the old detent out. Now, on doing the install, basically what we're going to do is take our new Tippmann ball detent that is supplied with the kit, and we're going to install that. And we're just going to put the front half of the body back together. Nose down. Snug them in. Now you're going to have to take your power tube and you're going to remove the velocity adjuster screw out of that and put it in the new power tube. I do have one that's already been reinstalled, as well as the valve is in this already. So what we're going to do is we'll take our BBCS power tube with the valve installed. So I should probably show you guys how easy that is. I like to stick an 1/8 inch Allen in there, and I can pop that back, and it will slide out of there at that point. Valve comes right out. Very simple to reinstall it. It does have a little locating nub on the bottom that when you put that back in the power tube, you have to make sure you get it lined up and that it pushes all the way down to center. Once you've done that, the power tube's ready to be reinstalled. So now we're going to grab the linkage arm, the BBCS bolt. There's a little nub right here on the top. Those need to line up with each other so that the linkage arm is going to go in there. And the easiest way is to slide the BBCS in just past the pin, the upper body pin. Rotate that around. You'll see the little nub is there. You got to get past that pin. The orange end of the linkage arm needs to go forward. And then we can slide the linkage arm and the power tube back into the front of the marker. And at that point, what I like to do is come in and just simply finger tighten the power tube supply line. Take your rear bolt, apply a drop of oil onto the rear bolt O-ring. I like to put a drop in here so make sure everything's sliding good and easy. Take that, reinstall it. We're going to I push them all the way to the front. At that point, we can reinstall the drive spring with the rear cap. And then it's a matter of just simply reinstalling the trigger spring, safety, install the sear, and install the steer spring. At that point, we've installed the BBCS kit. We can simply put it back together, put the screws in it, and you're ready to go. Now, there is one thing that I do want to, before I fully reassemble this, that I want to show you, and that is for disassembly of the BBCS. A couple of key things that need to make sure you happen. Take the cover off. We're going to take this apart as we did in disassembly. Take the gas line out. Slide it back. Take the rear bolt out. Now, one of the things that happens is down inside the ball latch comes up through the floor of the BBCS. To disassemble the marker, we need to take a pick, push the front of the foot down, and slide the BBCS bolt assembly back out of the marker for disassembly. Once you have it, that's as easy as it is to get it apart. And putting it back together is basically reverse of that. The key is that when you go to disassemble the marker, that you reach in the front right here and push down the ball latch so that you can remove the BBCS, because it hangs up in that detent hole in the front. So that's part of the disassembly. We'll go ahead real quick here and put this back together. Only takes a second. Slide that in there. Orange end of linkage arm. Push it all the way in. You can kind of see it line up. Because of the indexer on the power tube, it kind of goes to the right spot. Very well built in that aspect. Okay, make sure that's down. Make sure on your pins too, there's two pins here that guide the linkage arm. One of them's in the bottom of the body, the other one is here in the top. They're generally pinned to one of the body halves so they can't fall out. And then we'll put the trigger back in. Trigger spring, safety, sear and sear spring, rear drive spring and rear cap, and we'll reinstall right side body half, Remember when you're tightening the body screws down that these do not have to be cranked down on. They're simply snug, and that way you can get them back out later when you have to pull it apart to clean it. Those are tight. At that point, you can take a barrel on the marker, safety off, gun cycles. Grab an air tank. Almost forgot. You got to tighten up the gas line or we'd have had a leak. Air the marker up. At that point, it's 50 caliber. Put your hopper back on it. Put the elbow and hopper back on it, and go play 50 caliber paintball. It's all set, all ready to go. Simple, as easy as that. The only differences, like I say, between the 2- and 3-piece body is that you do have to completely disassemble the left side of the marker. Little quick hint is because this front sight is not, the pin on it is not part of the body. It's not pinned. When you disassemble it, if you leave the feed elbow on the marker, when you take it apart, it helps hold that spring assembly together. So other than that, 50 caliber BBCS and a Tippmann 98. Any questions on the install, feel free to shoot us an email at info@paintballinnovations.com, or you can call the shop at 425-397-9800. Thanks for watching. Thanks.